It's always been a bit of a trend that as the IPL has gotten older and older, you've seen run scoring become a lot more easier, whether it be for batsmen or teams. But 2024 seems to be a major outlier, even taking into consideration the fact that as things have gone or trended over the years, there has been a gradual increase in the number of runs scored by a team on average. But a rather interesting trend is emerging even despite that, is that even though team scores have gone up, as is evidenced by the fact that Sunrisers got the highest ever IPL score just a few games back against the Mumbai Indians, and then Kolkata Knight Riders went and got the second highest ever IPL score against Delhi Capitals. All of this is coming despite the fact that individual big scores are probably not as big as they once were in the IPL. Just to give you a bit of context as to what exactly I'm talking about, let's take a look at both of those record-breaking games, SRH versus MI as well as KKR versus DC. And let's look at who the top scorers were and what were the percentage of runs that they contributed. Now, SRH ended up getting 277 for 3 versus Mumbai Indians, which was of course a record highest IPL score ever. And on that, the top scorer was Heinrich Klaassen because he got 80 not out of 34 balls. Now, in that same week or so later, you saw KKR get 272 for 7 against DC, the Delhi Capitals, which is the second highest score in the history of the IPL. There you had Narayan, and he was of course dismissed, but 85 of 39 balls. Now, if you take a look at both of those scores, you realize that 277 and 80. So Klaassen basically only got 28% of the runs that SRH scored. And Narayan only got about 31% of the runs that KKR scored. That's shockingly low, especially when you look at it from a historical perspective in the IPL. More often than not, following of course the logic of traditional cricket, there was always a belief that if a team were to get a really big total, you'd need one player to get a really big score, basically a daddy 100. And if you go over the trends when it comes to the IPL and big scores, you'll notice that this is in fact very much the case. Just take a look at this table, as you can see now full screen. So Brendan McCullum, when he got that 158 against RCB to kick off the IPL, he scored 71.17% of his team's runs, because the team, KKR in that case, got 222. Rishabh Pant, when he scored his 128, which was a phenomenal knock, his team only scored 187, which basically meant he got 68.45% of the runs on offer. Same with the Quinton de Kock, when he got that century against KKR 2022, 140, the team gets 210, which means that de Kock got 66.67 of the total runs. Chris Gale's 175, which still remains, of course, the record highest knock in the history of the IPL, came when RCB scored 263 runs overall, which meant that he contributed 66.54% of the runs on offer. And again, KL Rahul, his 132 that came when he was playing for Punjab Kings against the Mumbai Indians, also saw him get 64.08% of the runs because the team got 206. Logic suggests that when one player gets a really big score, the team is obviously going to be a beneficiary, and this is true even beyond just these 5 examples. Take a look. When Dave Warner got a 126, his team 209, which means 60% of the runs were scored by David Warner, 60.29 to be precise. Chris Gale's 128, well, 215 was the team total, which means 59.53% of the runs were scored by Chris Gale. Yashasvi Jaiswal's 124 against Mumbai Indians, well, RR got 212 in that particular match, which means he got 58.49% of the runs. AB de Villiers 133 again against the Mumbai Indians, when RCB got 235, which means 56.60 of the runs, percentage of the runs, was scored by Mr. 360. And Josh Butler, once again up against SRH, when he got 124, well, the team only got 220, which meant that he scored 56.36 of the runs on offer. So again, conventional wisdom suggests that if one player gets a daddy 100 or a really big score, then the team is going to see most of the runs scored by that particular player. Yet, despite all of that, you've seen that Sunil Narayan, as well as Heinrich Klaassen got only about 30% of their team's runs when they had the record-breaking IPL totals. So, what does that tell you? Is that batsmanship has changed when it comes to T20 cricket. But what are the reasons for that? Well, it's pretty simple. For one, you have far more batting friendly pitches now than you've ever had. Previously, even in the IPL, you'd have a few grounds where you knew that you'd get spin friendly conditions or slightly sluggish wickets. Now, more often than not, you're getting belters everywhere you go, which means that batters know the conditions are to their advantage and conversely are taking more risk. They know that there's less chance of there being swing or extra bounce or let's say 5-6 degrees of turn when it comes to spinners. So they're more than capable of not only hitting through the line but even across the line and going aerial more often than not. And perhaps one of the biggest reasons, if you ask me, the impact player rule. What the impact player rule has done is that it's added an extra batter to the batting lineup every single time, because if you're batting second, you can just take out a bowler, get in another pure batter, and if you're bowling second, then you get to pack your team with batters and then remove one of those batters and get in a bowler. So what it's done more often than not is ensured that instead of batting till 7, which used to be the norm, you're batting till 8. Certain teams which are already batting till 8 are now practically batting till 9, which means that you're going to be, let's say, less averse to playing risk-free cricket. You're going to be wanting to play those big shots because you know that a quick fire 30-40 has more, let's say, value than a big 100 which is coming off, say, 70 or 75 balls. Yes, the number looks good. It always sounds nice that you get 100, but it is not the be-all and end-all in T20 cricket. In fact, even if you look at, let's say, KKR's innings against DC, you had a Sunil Narayan get a quickfire 85, but after that, you had Russell get 41, you had Rinku Singh get a quickfire 20 odd. All of those knocks mattered. Similarly, Klaasen may have stood out when it came to that SRH game against MI, but he also had quickfire runs from a Travis Head, from an Abhishek Sharma, even an Aiden Markram chipped in with quickfire runs. What it's showing is that now, more so than ever, strike rates matter far more than averages or number of runs scored. Teams aren't looking at did you get a big 100, they're looking at how quickly did you get the number of runs you've gotten, and that is evident more so than ever now in the IPL and potentially could very well be something that remains a trend for a long time. But what do you think about this? Do you agree with the analysis? Are you a fan of the fact that you're getting to see so much slam bang batting at all times? How much further do you think it can go? Because Ricky Ponting, the Delhi Capitals coach, has also come out and now said that you may reach a time when 250 becomes a norm. Chasing 250 becomes a norm in T20 cricket. Would you be a fan of that? You can let us know all of that in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel and tap that bell icon as well. Also follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Don't forget to download the Sports app, and if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos we've done as well. For now, from my side though, it's goodbye.